Hey everyone, my name is Eric and thanks for tuning in. Around a month ago, I accidentally broke my winter jacket, so I've been desperately trying to get a new one. And thankfully I live in NYC, so I get to go to a few different stores and try them on in person. In this video, I'll take you through some of the stores that I went to, the jackets that I tried on, and ultimately the one that I ended up getting. And I'll do a quick little review of that jacket too. Let's get into it. So as a base, I'm going to be comparing all the jackets I tried on to my old winter jacket. And that was the Patagonia Frozen Range Parka. It was a really substantial 700 fill power, and the outer layer was GORE-TEX. It was really nice and heavy, and I could easily just wear a t-shirt underneath in 20-degree Fahrenheit weather and I would stay warm. But it was also the perfect fit such that I could layer underneath like a sweater or a sweatshirt or something like that. Anyway, the first store that I went to was the Arc'teryx store in Soho. They recently relocated to a larger location on Broadway, and I personally really like it. They use a lot of outdoor aesthetic and elements in their decor to really promote the utilitarian function of their clothing, such as when you look at the storefront, you see like a giant hiking rock, and then when you go in, there's a lot of soil and plants everywhere. One of my favorite parts is that in the try-on area, the interior looks like the inside of a ski lodge or a ski cabin. They also have a wide range of the Arc'teryx clothing, such as the Valence line, and there's even a cafe for drinks. So the first jacket that I tried on was the Arc'teryx Ralle Down Parka. I had a lot of high expectations for this jacket because it looked really good on the website, and it mentioned that it was composed of 750 fill down. I tried it on, and the outside is made out of a really hard GORE-TEX shell, and unfortunately it was a bit of a letdown because it didn't feel nearly as heavy or dense as my old Patagonia jacket, and I just can't imagine it being that warm. Also, the biggest issue is with the fit. Although it fits nice in the width, it was a little too long, and that's just kind of a deal breaker for me. The second Arc'teryx jacket that I tried on was the more popular Therme SV Parka. This is more of a go-to option for this brand when it comes to a really warm winter jacket, but honestly I didn't even try it on because I could just see that it was even longer than the Ralle Down Parka. It's also composed of a GORE-TEX outer, and it's 750 down as well. It does feel much more substantial than the Ralle Down Parka, but again, because of the length, I didn't even try it on. In general, I would say that Arc'teryx is meant for people with taller builds, so it wasn't really great for me. So the next store that I went to was the Nanamica store in Soho, which I believe is the only location in the US. I've been a really long time admirer of Nanamica, especially for their lookbooks and their overall aesthetic, and going in person to the store was a really good opportunity to see what they had. The jacket I tried on was the Nanamica GORE-TEX down coat, and it was by far the favorite winter jacket that I've tried on. It was the perfect mid-length, so I didn't need to worry about that being too long, and unfortunately I couldn't find any information about the exact count of the fill down, and the Nanamica employee couldn't give me an exact answer either. But online it mentioned something called Kodenshi down, which from my understanding is some technology that better retains warmth, which allows the jacket overall to be lighter as well. This was a concern for me going into the store, but when I tried it on, it felt surprisingly really dense and heavy, almost like my Patagonia jacket from before. What I really appreciate about this jacket is the attention to detail, especially with the pockets. So there are some interior pockets, and there's a nice two-way zipper, but the really thought out part is that there's a flap pocket, and you don't need to unzip the jacket to reach into it. And there's really large storage pockets near the hand warmer also. So what I really like in general is that you don't need to unzip and make yourself cold to reach into the storage. This is by far my favorite winter jacket that I've tried on, and I really wanted one, I definitely would have bought one if it wasn't for the next jacket that I tried on. So the last store that I went to was the Patagonia store in Soho. I've been here a bunch of times to buy stuff in person because they have a wide selection of their clothing, the staff is super helpful, and you can even find new season stuff that hasn't even hit the website yet if you come early enough. I brought my old Patagonia jacket with me to see if they can make any repairs, and unfortunately the employee told me that they can't make the repairs that I needed to my jacket. So what happened was I washed it in the washing machine, and unfortunately it started leaking a lot of down and feathers afterwards, and it was just unwearable because it wasn't warm anymore. The exact issue was the employee told me that it requires a lot of very specific equipment and machinery when manufacturing these down jackets in the first place, and you can't just reinsert down into them for repair. That was a bummer, but he did tell me that what I could do as an alternative is exchange my old jacket for a new one. So the warmest jacket that they have currently is called the Stormshadow Parka, and that's the one that I tried on. While I was trying it on, I was pretty much just doing a direct comparison with my old Patagonia jacket as well as the Nanamica parka that I tried on. It did feel a little more substantial than the Nanamica parka, and it did have a little bit of functionality that did make it better than my old Patagonia jacket, and this is ultimately the one that I ended up getting. I paid $0 for it because, as I mentioned before, it was through a warranty exchange program. Now let's do a little more in-depth comparison with this jacket. So here it is. This is the Patagonia Stormshadow Parka. It fits me really well. It has that mid-length that I was looking for, and the outer is made out of a nice GORE-TEX fabric, and it's composed of 700 filled down made of goose and down feathers. One thing I really like is right off the bat, it has a nice blacked out logo, which kind of differentiates it from the other Patagonia logos out there. And to compare it with the Nanamica parka that I tried on earlier, I would say that the one thing I like about that one compared to this one is that the Nanamica had raglan sleeves, so you could easily move your arms around without feeling constricted. A common issue with these kinds of down jackets is that it does feel a little tighter in the shoulders and you can't really move your arms around as much, but that's not a huge issue. I went true to size here, so a size small, and I could easily layer a really thick chunky sweater or sweatshirt underneath, and it doesn't feel too tight. But similar to my old Patagonia jacket, I can still wear just a t-shirt underneath, and I'm still warm in around 20 to 25 degree Fahrenheit weather. So some of the specs that I really like about this jacket is, number one is with the storm cuffs. So the interior storm cuff is ribbed, so it forms really nice and tightly around your wrist, so it traps in heat really well. This was the biggest issue with my frozen range Patagonia parka. It wasn't ribbed, so it could actually let in a little bit of cold air, which was an issue. Another thing I really like is with the hood. It's really big and roomy, which is nice for my big head, so it doesn't feel tight. And another thing I like is there's a lot of pockets. So the interior, there's 2 pockets, a zippered chest pocket as well as a large stash pocket. There's also a zippered flap pocket here, and there's 2 hand warmer pockets here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel as it really helps. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below on any questions you might have about the jacket. And also let me know what jackets you guys are wearing to stay warm this winter. I hope this video gave you some insight into how valuable the Patagonia customer service is with their warranty, because I definitely didn't know that I could be getting this jacket for free because I previously owned another jacket. Anyway, thanks again and have a nice day.